content consumption completely changed.
He's just a YouTube skater.
Social media started taking over.
All the trends all at once.
This is insane.
But you could just DM them.
Going viral kind of sucks.
I can see why kids resonate with it. It's kind of like a 4-on-1 or something like that. I don't think I could even be friends with any of them. They'd probably be trying to put me on their YouTube channel and saying a bunch of stupid stuff.
There is a bit more of like a shit-talking culture in skateboarding, which is just part of the culture.
What does it mean to be a professional skateboarder?
These days?
There was like a way that you turned pro. You had to get made like the mafia style.
I guess in skateboarding, you're a professional if your name is on your board.
From a business viewpoint, it's about the person's ability to sell the board.
I don't know that social media that's changed it, but it's like now people turn pro and then they get forgotten. It just confuses me.
I used to idolize the pros. Nowadays, you start your own brand, turn yourself pro.
Back then, it was all about how you did in contests and also if you had coverage. But as skateboarders, we could all agree on, 90% of the guys that turn pro. It was like, oh, why wouldn't you? Somebody tells me like, oh, there's a job opening at Transworld. Got interviewed, and like 2 days later, I was hired. I saw the photographers bringing their photos in, and everybody going, whoa, look at that, look at this.
The Skateboarder magazine was a valuable asset to these brands and skaters to get verification through our pages.
You had to have video parts. You had to have pro spotlights in magazines. Like, those were the things that would turn you pro.
I have an appreciation for the magazine and like the skate video because my career took off with Instagram, but I had years before that of me like appreciating the special feeling of like getting a skate mag in the mail.
Back in the day, there wasn't that much content. You would only see one video part and that's pretty much it.
There was so much money that needed to come in to sustain those magazines like a Transworld. So you had these crazy goals that dudes had to hit, and if you're not hitting that, then you're on the chopping block. 2010, 11, Instagram and all that starts blowing up. Even beyond the social, the industry itself was slowly dwindling down.
We went from a magazine that was a year earlier, 215 pages, to a magazine that was 72 pages.
Once social audiences started to grow where a skater had the same amount of followers or more than a media brand, there was definitely a growing concern of like, do they need us?
Ooh, this one is clean.
The whole fabric of content consumption just completely changed.
People don't send sponsor me tapes anymore. You just like kind of have your Instagram profile to get discovered.
Please subscribe, like, leave a comment below.
I posted something and it got almost 100,000 views, and I was like, holy, like there's so much power to this.
The level of skating has ramped up extraordinarily through the years.
People see clips and then try to emulate it. And so the faster clips spread, the faster kids get better and better and better.
I got hired doing social media with Thrasher at the very early advent of personality in skateboarding. You could see what your favorite skaters are doing on a daily basis. You almost feel like you know the person.
You could just DM them. You could drop a comment and they'll reply back to you. Now, a lot of these kids, they get to see you every single day when they open their phones.
YouTube came along and it was a place for skaters to create their own brands and own identities outside of the skate industry.
In the 80s and 90s, somebody had to say that you were good. That was our job.
You have the core skaters filming video parts, posting raw clips on whatever socials they have, if they even have social media. Then you have the YouTube skaters, but let's be easy with YouTube skater because there's a whole spectrum of that. It goes from some of the best skaters ever to like the Braille skate dudes. They skate because they love it. Sure, they're probably garnished to a younger audience, but anybody that skates for fun and does it because they love it, that's cool to me.
It's almost like a derogatory term. It's not the platform, it's the individuals themselves.
If you were a YouTube skater, like you were like wacky or kooky, As the years go by, you see like big pros starting YouTube channels. It's definitely more accepted.
I feel like when I started, I just felt, I don't know, I guess kind of naive to the whole thing. I didn't know whether it was cool or uncool.
I switched 360 inward heel flip rewind. It's awesome.
There weren't many like YouTuber personalities, really.
God, that is the best feeling in the world, my friends.
There were like filmers who were filming other people, but not like a narcissistic channel.
The dragon flip, that's what I'm gonna call it.
When I first saw Chris,
awful.
I was like, I am so not into it. It's not for me.
Your work isn't done yet. The people need you.
The novelty aspect outweighs what skateboarding is.
A lot of YouTubers are self-aware of the ridiculousness of the things that they're doing, and they know that, you know, it won't be taken well by this community over here, but it makes this community happy. It takes a certain type of person too. There's probably tons of people that want to do YouTube that are like, I can't though, like the car will eat me up.
YouTubers are the most punk rock because to put yourself out there online in a community that like completely rejects you and doesn't want any kind of association with you, like you really have to not give a fuck. Also, going viral kind of sucks because you expose yourself to so much hate.
It's like nothing personal, like people just talk shit in skating.
Not everybody is ready to deal with hate messages, because those can really get to you. There would be 500 positive comments, but the one guy who said you suck, I would reply to him and be like, bro, you suck.
You shouldn't tell somebody how to view skateboarding and what they should do in skateboarding. I'm kind of being a hypocrite because I don't agree with the content, but I think they're doing a great job. From what I've heard from a friend who also does YouTube, they make more than regular skateboarders.
When you were a kid, your parents told you partying wouldn't take you anywhere.
I reached a point where I was making an absurd amount of money with YouTube for an 18-year-old kid. I drove a purple Audi, like it was bad.
YouTube monetization's rough for me. I was tired of not making money, and so I started an OnlyFans. And that's when things started to work out.
That was last night.
OnlyFans is just a subscription-based platform. If you have an audience, you can monetize content that other platforms won't allow. It's changed my life, honestly.
If you're a core skateboarder, you're not getting paid enough to actually make a living off skateboarding.
I remember I turned down the skincare deal, and I was like really into skincare, but I was afraid of what other people would think of it.
How much is it?
40,000? And you turned that down?
Because someone made a video about me. I did an Axe brand deal, and it was just skating and then using the hair product.
Dude, Chris Chan does an Axe commercial. What the heck? I'm just gonna keep scrolling the feed. I'm gonna find like 5 more.
A fellow YouTuber made a video, and it made me like really insecure to take brand deals after that, and that's why I turned down that skincare thing. And I regret that to this day. The creator that made that roasting video about me took the same brand deal after, and it was an anti-bullying campaign. You kidding me? But it's cool, we're cool now, it's all good.
Pre-YouTube and stuff, there was like a way that you got sponsored, there was a way you turned pro.
You'd get floor product through a shop or anything like that. Out of nowhere, the whole team is in your city and you go skate with them, and that's your make or break moment. And if you can mesh, you can hang out, you're good at skateboarding, then they'll put you on the team. And then you kill yourself as an amateur skateboarder to hopefully one day get your name on a board.
In all other sports, when you first get paid to do something, you're considered pro at that point.
Now where that can get embellished or become kind of blurry is when somebody has a board brand that's not as legitimate and they turn you pro. I think that's where the line gets blurred a lot, is like, this person is a professional skateboarder, but are they professional?
You had to prove yourself in the eyes of the community. Now, anybody can start a brand, can make boards, turn their buddy pro. That's fucking sick. Like, yeah, his name's on the board, but is he pro?
It took that pro term and just devalued it. I'm like, so are we all pro?
If you were to ask the core skate industry if they think the Revive dudes or the Braille dudes would be able to turn someone pro, they'd probably be like, yeah, sure, but it's like, it doesn't mean anything. It's just like a YouTube brand. Ask Braille Skateboarding. They're like, we don't care what you think.
A lot of people want to like invalidate what I'm doing by saying, he's not a real professional skateboarder. And I'll say, you're right. But that doesn't mean that I can't empower skaters to take actions in their own community. I don't care if somebody thinks, oh, you're not good enough or you're not a real pro. Even in the world of core skateboarding, some of the absolute best skaters I ever met were not pro. not pro at all, not even close.
With times changing, it's going to be a lot more okay to be yourself.
You gotta kind of give people like a little bit of credit. It's hard because you take so much criticism. You're open for the sharks, really.
If you want to do tricks that you love doing, but the core community doesn't think they're cool, do your tricks. Do whatever brings you the most happiness. And that's all you can really do.
Anybody that can go out and do their own thing and not worry about what everybody else is doing, more power to them, you know?
Social media really is the only reason that an individual can grow an audience of like millions of people that support you. And your body of work is the merit.
Social media hasn't necessarily hurt skating, it's expanded it. It's widened the audience for skateboarding.
Social media has given girls that skate a platform. People can tell their stories that might never have been given a chance.
Skateboarding is such a personal thing, you know? You go out and skate for yourself, you're progressing, you're learning, you love it. That's about as core as it gets.
Being pro in skateboarding is different because it's a wonderful blend where art and sport meet, and there's no defining lines. There's all these unsaid rules and said rules.
At the end of the day, we are playing with a toy. Like the whole idea and industry and everything like that is so stupid, but it's so incredible at the same time.